Assalamu alaikum, inshallah you're well guys. So alhamdulillah, we're approaching the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and this is where we'll increase our ibadah, with one form being charitable giving. And some of us would have automated our charitable giving this month, but for many it can be quite tough because of the pressures of cost of living. And this year, inshallah, Ramadan has coincided with the new financial tax year. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I always recommend to people that if you're employed, you should be checking your tax code each year. So in today's video, I wanted to speak about certain tax allowances you can claim, which will help reduce the tax you pay and inshallah help you maximize the benefit of charitable giving this blessed month. The first allowance I'm going to speak about is the marriage allowance. And this is where a spouse can transfer £1,260 of their personal allowance to their partner if they're a basic rate taxpayer. Let me give you an example to help better explain this. Say you're earning £10,000 a year. You're not paying any tax because you're earning below the £12,570 threshold. But let's just say your partner earns £20,000 a year. They earn over the £12,570 threshold, so they're going to be paying tax of £1,486, 20% over that £12,570 threshold. However, by using the marriage allowance, you can transfer £1,260 of your threshold to your partner. So your new threshold becomes £11,310. And in that instance, you're still not paying any tax because you earned £10,000 in the year, which is less than your new threshold. But your partner ends up saving £252 in tax because their new threshold is now £13,830, and the tax they pay will become £1,234, which is 20% of everything over the new £13,830 threshold. To be eligible for this allowance, you have to be married, as the name suggests. One partner has to earn below the personal allowance threshold, and the other partner must be a basic rate taxpayer. If you earn more than £50,270, i.e. you're a higher rate taxpayer, then you're not eligible for the marriage allowance. The good thing about many tax allowances from HMRC is that you can retrospectively claim for up to 4 years. So if you've just heard about the marriage allowance, you can go back and claim for the previous 4 years, so you may find yourself with an extra £1,000 in cash. The next one I'm going to speak about is for the higher rate taxpayers, and that's gift aid. So for those of you who don't know, when you donate to a registered charity, they're likely to ask you about gift aid, because that means that they can claim an additional 25% basic rate of tax on anything that you've donated. So if you donate £100 with gift aid, if you select that option, the charity will get £125. Now, to give gift aid, you have to be a taxpayer. If you don't pay any tax, you can't give gift aid to a charity. And if you make a false declaration, then HMRC may come after you for the amounts owed. And if you're a higher rate taxpayer, you can claim back 20% on the amounts that you've donated. So say in the tax year, you donate £1,000. The charity may claim £1,250 with gift aid. Then you can claim back an additional 20% of that, which works out to £250 as tax relief. There are some more rules around how much tax you can get back, because obviously guys, HMRC aren't going to give you more than the tax you've paid, but honestly, it's a great way of making your charitable donations go further. Next allowance I'm going to speak about is working from home, which pretty much all office workers did during the pandemic. So if you're employed and you were forced to work from home and your employer didn't cover the additional cost of working from home, you can claim a flat rate of £6 a week from HMRC. And like the marriage allowance, you can go back up to 4 years, which covers the COVID period. So if you're a basic rate taxpayer, you may find yourself with an additional £60, which is 20% of the £6 a week allowance for the year. One point to bear in mind is that with many people working hybrid, you can no longer claim the relief if you choose to work from home. Or say as an example, you get COVID and you work from home for a week. HMRC have now tightened the rules. The pandemic was different. Offices were shut, so people were forced to work from home. Now that's not the case. The final one I'm going to speak about, which is more rare, but it's still good to be aware of, and that is professional subscriptions. It's rare because companies will normally pay for your professional memberships, but if they don't, you can claim the cost back from HMRC, who will typically add the cost to your personal allowance. So as an example, I'm a chartered accountant and I pay membership fees to ICAW, which my company reimbursed me for. So in that scenario, I'm not entitled to claim anything back from HMRC. But if my company didn't pay for those ICAW membership fees, I can go and claim that amount back directly from HMRC. An important point to note is that your professional subscription has to be relevant to the role that you're performing. So again, using myself as an example, I can't claim back the cost of being part of an engineering body when I work in finance because it's not relevant to my role. Now, those were the key allowances. And some of you may be thinking, what's the point? I don't want to bother with all the admin. admin. But I can tell you that completing the working from home allowance will take you around 5 minutes on your government gateway account. Straight away, that's a potential £60 saving. And for some people, that may not be a lot of money, but £60 is 60 meals for the poor. And imagine donating that amount of money during the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Remember, the point of this video is so that we can give more, not so that we can pocket more. Inshallah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. As always, any questions or queries, please feel free to comment below or message me on Instagram.